This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
It's a Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast, Monday, January the 17th in snowbound Quinte region of Eastern Ontario. Winter storm warning for us today. If you're listening in some part of the world that's never had this, apparently we're used to it, but it still throws us off guard when it shows up.
Oh my goodness, does it ever? And that's the thing, we had notice about it. We knew that there was going to be a lot of snow today. And yet when it happens, it's always like that first time driving in the winter. We do it every year.
Yeah.
But that first experience, we always seem to forget. And we knew how much was coming today. And I know it changed a little bit over the last 24, 36 hours, but we knew we were going to have a storm today. And it just really felt, and you probably more so, Mark, because you were in the studio, but just kind of, okay, so this is happening, that's happening. Where do we go? What do we do? Who do we check? Like, just that kind of, the juggling started. Yeah. Of how to get through it.
And the confusion on top of all of it was that schools were to have reopened today following a shutdown during the, I've lost track of how many waves of the pandemic. So now what do we do? Well, I'll tell you what, here's what we'll do. Of all of the school districts in our area, one of them decided to stay open but canceled buses and the rest of them didn't. So what do we do about that? And then halfway through the show, they decided, no, now we're going to cancel that. So cancel whatever we said before. And it's one of the, oh my gosh.
It really is. And as you said too, even getting the phone calls asking if the buses were canceled.
Good God, yes.
And you know what? We of course we are here to serve. We are here to share information, and that is what we do. And we welcome the phone calls and the texts, and we want to be able to give you that information. But yeah, it always makes us chuckle. It really does. If truth be told, when it's snowing like it is today, especially, to get the phone call of, is my bus canceled? Yeah. It makes you laugh out loud. And really, you have to, when stuff like this happens, you have to try and find the lighter side too. And thank you for that, whoever it was that did call in. And
oh, not the only one. But
okay.
Always makes us laugh.
You actually had to take the call, so maybe not so funny for you, but I do chuckle a little bit.
You know, we're talking about on the air. If you want to turn your radio on, because we've been talking about it for half an hour. But I know you probably just woke up and you don't want to deal with an on-off button when you can dial 7 digits on a phone. All right, whatever. So that's what's.
But weather did kind of dominate the show this morning, as it should. But we also did talk about Betty White's birthday was to be today. If she hadn't passed New Year's Eve, of course, she was turning 100.
100 years old.
And People magazine had just done a cover story on her that same week that she had passed. And it was the week after that started to see the hashtag Betty White challenge. So people had gathered because Betty White was such an animal lover, had decided to put it out there and see if they could raise money for animal shelters, and not just in one specific area. The whole point of the challenge was to donate to a shelter or a rescue near you. So for us, it would be the Quinte Humane Society, probably the biggest and the closest one to us. So it's encouraged that you donate $5 today to a Humane Society or SPCA near you in honor of Betty White.
She was very famous for it. She also had the funny quote when somebody said, well, do you love children? She says, oh, of course I love children. The problem is they grow up to be adults. And I just as soon hang out with the animals, if truth be told. So thanks for covering that in the Pulse this morning. We had a number of her very, very funny quips from not only the Golden Girls, but also interviews on what it's like to have lived a long life. And we had on the Pulse last week in a chat with Larry King. Larry King was asked if she was worried about passing away, what would happen in that instant. And she said no. Larry King admitted that he was terrified, but she said no, she's more curious than anything. And since she passed away following a stroke she'd had 6 days previous, I mean, all of that was kept quiet. And if she passed away on New Year's Eve of a 6-day stroke, that meant she had a stroke on Christmas Day. I mean, Christmas Day. So think about that. And she would have been 100 today. Also today is known as Blue Monday. Here's the funny thing about Blue Monday is that's the third Monday of January. So they say Blue Monday is one of the more quote unquote depressing days because A, the weather's never great. Well, ding, ding. The bills come in following the holiday season. Here comes your Visa and MasterCard. Ding, ding. You probably gave up on your New Year's resolution by this point. And it's just sort of like and it's a Monday. So, sociologists way back in 2005 kind of called that phenomenon of we should be ready about the third Monday in January for people's mental health. And so as a result, out come these stories about how we should feel better. But we thought you and I would put together our own 10 reasons on why you should be happy today. And because of the weather, one of mine was, look, if you buy your snowmobile trail pass to get out there and there was no snow up till today, today is your lucky day. You are super happy today and good for you if you're a snowmobiler.
Well, and that kind of tied into one of mine too, because I thought, with all this snow, skiers, and even today with the kids getting out and going sledding would be a great day to do it. It is cold and it is snowing, yes, but with all this snow comes some great outdoor activities that we've actually had to wait on because there wasn't any snow.
Right. In sports on the weekend, the dreaded New England Patriots and Dallas Cowboys got bumped out of the playoffs, and Buffalo is still in. And looking awesome. Yay. There's lots
So you're happy about that?
Well, not overly, but there's a lot of Buffalo Bills fans around here, so they can be happy. They can be like, I've had 20 years of it. I'm fine.
Well, and when we were trying to put this list together, I was trying to think here at home what makes me happy. So I was talking to the kids, and without missing a beat, my 8-year-old chimes in, hugs and snuggles, Mom.
Hugs.
Yes. Snuggles. Hugs and snuggles. And again, on a day like today, I'm sure there'll be lots of that.
If you're looking forward to spring, do you know pitchers and catchers for the Toronto Blue Jays report 4 weeks today for spring training?
Oh, so that is a good thing.
If today makes you go, eesh, you're only 4 weeks away from spring training and Major League Baseball in like a month. 28 days. Oh. Hang in there. There's some good news for that.
And the ability to work from home, I think, made a lot of people happy today, myself included. One of the good things I think that has come out of the pandemic is that the pivot to being able to do that. And when the weather's like this, yep, I'm happy I'm at home.
And my number one is that we are less than 8 weeks to daylight saving time. Boy, that's the big one. It's, there's still dark at 5 and 5:15 starts getting to you. And today we're not going to really see quote unquote sun at all. It's light out, but it'll never be sunny, which means that we're also missing out on a bit of a phenomenon tonight.
The full moon. If Blue Monday and the snowstorm weren't enough for this Monday, throw in the full moon as well, which would have been visible around 7 o'clock at its peak tonight, also known as the wolf moon.
And the forecast for tonight is blowing snow, so not a chance we'll get a glimpse of it. And a wind chill of minus 21. So look out the window. Don't be outside too much. And when it was bitterly cold yesterday, I got to really, really tip the toque out to the dog owners who love their animals enough that I saw them out walking their dogs at 8 o'clock in the morning. I know. Can't you just let them out the back door, do the business, let them back in? But nope. Bundling up, taking them for a walk. So good work, dog owners out there.
So those are our reasons for being happy. But of course, this time of year, some other reasons from quote unquote, the experts. So not necessarily us, even though I think our reasons are very, very good.
We are caring
some other ways to be happy, because this is also the time of year that many people really start to feel the effects of SAD. And that has come to the forefront in recent years as well, with mental health being an issue. Now that we are into the middle of winter, there can be some depression. So if you need some other reasons to be happy or some ways to boost your mood, they say even just putting on colorful clothing, like something bright, something yellow, pink, something bright, that in itself can help boost your mood. Exercise, you mentioned snowmobiling, I mentioned skiing. Today might be a little difficult, but if you bundled up, just going for a walk can help boost your mood. Simply just a hair makeover can boost your mood. Again, it goes back to the clothing. So things that you can do just at home to help do that. Listen to a podcast. Hey, there's a great way to boost your mood.
Hi, everybody.
We'll help you out for sure. Or watch something fun on TV. After you listen to us, you can do that. But just some ways at home that you can boost your mood on a day like today and during these colder winter months.
In the Quinte region, tomorrow it's going to clear up but still be bitterly cold with a wind chill tomorrow of -20. So tune in tomorrow morning for that. Jimmy Hollywood's going to have Take Home Tuesday, and we'll see what it'll do with the buses. Maybe the kids will finally be back to school for the first time since the holiday break, back to school tomorrow, and everybody can get ready for that and kind of dig ourselves out before we get back into tomorrow. It's Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast here on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, right off of our social media sites. Out of snowbound Belleville, Ontario, Canada. Hunker down, stay warm. We'll talk to you